I was born in Palm Springs. My dad was a Palm Springs police officer. My mom had immigrated from Mexico to come and study English in Palm Springs, and she went to Palm Springs High School. About a year out of high school, maybe 2 years out of high school, my dad pulls her over for a speeding ticket, and instead of giving her a ticket, he asked for her phone number, and that's I guess how I got my start in law enforcement. My dad ends up being a detective in Palm Springs. We lived there for years. He actually also worked security for Frank Sinatra. I moved away when I was still relatively young. My dad took a job as a Wyoming marshal. So we moved to rural Wyoming, and he was the lawman. So that was a whole different experience for us. We ended up later on moving to Arizona, went to the University of Arizona down in Tucson for college. I had actually applied and got into Stanford for both a law degree and a master's degree. And I have nothing but the highest respect for that institution. I mean, they demand excellence, and my year, 1996, was the first ever clinic where the law school paired up with the prosecution. So I went over to work at the Santa Clara DA's office. 2 days a week we would go over and we would get a case and we would actually prosecute it. So I began prosecuting criminals as a law student, and I participated in the program, and it was one of those moments for me when I got into the program and when I got into court. I knew right then that I was going to be a prosecutor, and I had a hunch, honestly, that I was going to be a prosecutor the rest of my career. And I was into the Riverside DA's office, and I spent about 9 years in the homicide unit, and I did 30 plus murder trials. I did 7 death penalty cases. Got a huge family out in the Coachella Valley. I now live in Temecula though with my wife and daughter, and I work in the Riverside office. You know, I'm running because I care about this community. I care about families in this community. You know, as I'm campaigning around this county, I know that people want a safe place to raise their families, to work, to worship, to play, to live. And what's happened over the last 3 years in the DA's office is not acceptable to me and to a great many people that work as prosecutors and as law enforcement officers. This office we've lost our way. We've lost our core mission, which is public safety. And we absolutely have to get back focused on our core mission. And that's why I'm running.